possesses broad-based experiences and a motivational leader and has a rigorous approach to problem solving. Anil co-founded Ananta, built it to be a successful business analytics firm and recently sold it to a large BPO firm. Prior to that, at Aegis as the Global Chief Marketing Officer, he led various marketing programs focused on presence, intelligence and recognition marketing. As a part of innovation and strategic initiatives, he helped Aegis develop new solutions and market and also handled strategic deals for the company. He also led the joint venture between Aegis and STC as president and founder and CEO, being chief architect behind the winning the historic JV bid for Aegis. Prior to Aegis, Anil served in Global Telesystems as a strategic member for their international business division, managing telecom and IT divisions in North America. He has worked also in Hughes Networks Systems as Director of Networking and HCL Technologies as Regional Manager. We have with us Mr. Arnab Basu, Partner, PricewaterhouseCoopers Private Limited. He is leading the technology practice for PwC in India. Along with that, he is also responsible for growing the digital business for PwC in India. He is also part of Central Cluster Technology Leadership Team for PwC and responsible for building the technology capability of the global PwC firms across Europe, Africa, Middle East and India. He is a partner in the firm and he is also focused on client relationships with large India-based corporates across consumer and industrial products. As a practice lead, he has the dual responsibility of winning clients for the firm as well as executing large consulting assignments in the technology space. He is also an ERP methodology expert with the global PwC firms and is a part of global SAP leadership team. And we also have with us Mr. Kaushik De and also Mr. Shobhik Dash. So may we request Dr. Pritesh Mukherjee to take the discussions forward.
Good afternoon, friends. Thank you very much for joining us here in this session where we'll talk of innovation and in the analytics sphere. Now, a couple of months back, I had carried out a small opinion poll in a very closed group of people from my IIT Kharagpur alumnus, where we tried to identify, has there been anything which has come out of India in the past 200 years which has dramatically changed the world? It's very difficult to come out with anything specific. After Brahmagupta and Bhaskar in the 8th century and their concept of zero, the next point of reference was Jagadish Bose and radio. And after that, there has not been anything out of India actually which has really transformed the world. Few things, small bits there, but nothing very dramatic out of India. Which leads us to the doubt, are Indians innovative enough or not? Now there are two ways of answering this question. Perhaps we are not innovative, Indians, because of the way we, our upbringing, our Guru Shishya Parampara, where we always think of the Guru as the boss, and we do not encourage youngsters to think. That was one school of thought. The other school of thought is that we didn't have the appropriate ecosystem around, the economic ecosystem which can nurture innovation. I would like to believe in that second line of thought, that India in the last 200 years hasn't had an economic ecosystem which nurtured innovation. Fortunately, for the last 10-15 years, things have changed dramatically. Standards of living has gone up, GDP has grown, we have a much more vibrant economic ecosystem. Hopefully, that will spur more innovative and interesting products to coming out of India. So with that little lead-in, may I ask speakers to help me with this topic. A small request to all of you, we are very tight on time. So after about 9 minutes or so, I'll make some kind of a noise out here. If you know the bell or something, I'll ring. And please do not take offense at that. And that will be my way of managing the time. So thank you very much. I'll now ask Mr. Anil Modi to go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. Thank you. I think I'm going to beat the clock. Not going to take that much of time because I have only 2 points to make here. The topic had 2 specific areas of lookout. One is innovation, other is opportunity. So I have one example of each, and that's what I'm going to do. But before that, I want to just define what innovation is, because most of the time innovation is a quite misused word, and each one of us have their own definitions to it. The definition I go by is when an innovation brings a change in a business. That is what the innovation is. So it should make a new revenue stream, or it should do a change in the business plan. That's what I call as an innovation. And to that effect, when I interacted with some of the telecom firms, I found an opportunity which when I discussed with them, they felt it was really innovative. So I'll give you an example of that. Think of the area that you're staying in today, any colony or any locality that you stay. If you were to find out how many people eat pizzas on which all days, let's say on Monday, how many people order pizzas, who would be the most appropriate service provider who would get to know that? We all know Google is there, which you can search pizzas, and therefore you know how many people are searching for pizza. But when you are ordering pizza, it's your telecom operator who actually can know that how many people on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday or any day of the week have actually ordered pizzas. So a lot of these telecom operators are happy, building pipes. They give you the pipe and you are happy using the pipe, but they don't tend to look inside the pipe. Google did the same thing. It gave a search engine, but it started to look inside the search engine. It never sold the data. What it sells is a potential advertising benefit to the advertiser. So similarly, I was talking to one of the telecom guys who were very forward looking, and he said, we would like to take this forward and use the data insight, which is how many calls, who are making calls to who all places, and then use that as a community to go after. For example, in the pizza case, they could have gone to Domino's to say, hey, we have 300 people ordering pizzas from this area, and if you give us money, we will put an ad on their smartphones. And to a user, you can say the telecom is free. So moving to a big paradigm shift where somebody would come one day, and I hope that happens, and tell you that your data and voice is absolutely free. You would get to see a few ads a few times, and that's it, because he's going to make money from the ads exactly as a Google model. Only thing is the telecom guy is now doing it. So that's kind of a disruptive innovation that analytics has been able to bring about, and I can tell you, people are very, very seriously thinking about it, because it changes dramatically the whole business plan. The other is an opportunity, and here I take an example. I take an example of my wife. My wife is an extremely poor telecom customer. So if telecom guy is mining the data, he would classify her as probably third from the bottom category, if you would do category of your clientele. But if Shoppers Stop or any other mall was supposed to categorize her, they will categorize her at probably in the top 4 or 5 categories. Because now these people don't talk to each other. So they don't know it is the same person that they are talking to. The potential of somebody is determined by the purse they have and not by the interaction they are having with you. So for a telecom guy, my wife is a poor customer. For a shopping mall or a shopping mall environment, my wife is a decent customer. but it's the same person with the purse with the potential to probably buy more telecom services as well, if it is projected or given to her in a proper way. So there is this idea which is now getting floated to a certain extent in the US, which is called as a data exchange. Now again, here if you imagine a credit card company, a telecom company, and an airline or a travel portal company, they come together and create a portal where they feed in all the consumer data that they have, all the interaction that they have, which then a lot of analytics is applied on it. But then we will be able to identify exactly the potential of each and every consumer, because that pattern across the various industries or various touch points is being analyzed to say, okay, this customer has so much of purse potential and in the past behavior or purchase is like this. Again, from privacy point of view, the data is not to be sold. What is going to be sold is that this exchange can go to businesses and say, hey, if you want to run a campaign on these kind of customers, we will run it for you. So it becomes an exchange which will run a campaign as well. It's like stock exchange, right? When you buy a stock, you don't know who you are buying from, but the stock comes to you because it's part of the exchange system. Similarly, a data exchange of that potential can actually deliver to businesses what this consumer is really looking after. These are the only 2 points that I wanted to make on innovation and opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Modi, for giving us two good examples of innovation and opportunity. Actually, it's good that we move to specific examples rather than talk in general about big data and stuff like that, because I think that's already available out here. So now we'll move to the next speaker, Mr. Maloy Boral.